Welcome to my channel.
There is an old proverb that says, wealth stays in the family for only 3 generations. The first generation builds it, the second manages it, and the third spends it. In fact, nearly 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation. But this is not an inevitable fate. It is a failure of planning. To master your wealth journey, you must look beyond simple savings accounts and basic wills. You need to understand the sophisticated tools used by the world's most enduring dynasties. Today, we are unlocking the secrets of generational wealth to ensure your legacy is protected for decades to come. Welcome to Elite Wealth Haven. Let us begin. Many people believe that writing a will is the final step in securing the future of their family. However, a will is simply a letter to a judge, and that letter comes with a heavy price tag called probate. Probate is the legal process of validating a will, and it is notoriously slow, expensive, and most importantly, public. Anyone can look up exactly what you owned and who you left it to. For those seeking to protect a significant legacy, this exposure is a major vulnerability. Beyond the privacy concerns, probate can eat up to 7% of the value of an estate in legal fees and court costs. This can tie up assets for months or even years, leaving your heirs in a state of financial limbo during an already difficult time? But is there a way to bypass this entirely? The answer lies in the strategic use of trusts. By moving your assets into a trust, you effectively remove them from the jurisdiction of the probate court. This ensures a seamless, private, and nearly instant transfer of wealth to your beneficiaries. It is the first step to truly unlocking your financial potential. To master your wealth journey, you must understand the 2 primary engines of estate planning: revocable and irrevocable trusts. Think of a revocable living trust as a flexible container. You can put assets in, take them out, or change the rules at any time while you're alive. It is the perfect tool for avoiding probate and maintaining total control. However, because you still control the assets, the government views them as yours, which means they are still subject to estate taxes and creditors. This is where the irrevocable trust comes into play. When you transfer assets into an irrevocable structure, you are technically giving up ownership to the trust entity. While this sounds restrictive, it is actually a powerful defensive move. Because you no longer legally own the assets, they are shielded from lawsuits, creditors, and the heavy hand of the Internal Revenue Service. High net worth families often use a combination of both. They use revocable trusts for their primary residence and daily accounts for flexibility, and irrevocable trusts for long-term investments and business interests to minimize tax exposure. The key is balance. But how do these structures actually save you millions in taxes? Let's look at the numbers. The government is often the largest unintended beneficiary of an estate. In many jurisdictions, once your net worth exceeds a certain threshold, the estate tax, often called the death tax, can claim up to 40% of everything you have built. Imagine working a lifetime to build a legacy, only to have nearly half of it vanish the moment it passes to your children. This is the reality for many who fail to plan. Advanced estate planning utilizes irrevocable life insurance trusts and grantor retained annuity trusts to move appreciation out of your taxable estate. This allows your investments to grow inside the trust, where that growth is shielded from future estate taxes. Furthermore, sophisticated planners utilize the step-up in basis rule. This effectively resets the value of an asset to its current market price at the time of your passing, potentially saving your heirs millions in capital gains taxes when they eventually sell. It is not about avoiding responsibility. It is about ensuring that the resources you created stay within the community and family you intended to support. But tax efficiency is only half the battle. What happens if the heirs are not ready for the responsibility? The most complex trust in the world cannot protect wealth if the people receiving it are unprepared. This is where the shirtsleeves to shirtsleeves phenomenon usually begins, with a lack of financial education. To truly protect your legacy, you must invest in your family's human capital. High net worth families often implement what is known as incentive provisions within their trusts. Instead of giving a child a lump sum at age 21, the trust might release funds only when they reach certain milestones. This could include graduating from university, starting a business, or even reaching a specific age. This structure teaches the value of work and stewardship. Moreover, consider establishing a family mission statement. Regular family meetings can transform wealth from a source of conflict into a shared purpose. By involving heirs in charitable giving or minor investment decisions early on, you allow them to practice with smaller stakes. Remember, wealth is a tool, but your heirs are the craftsmen. If they do not know how to use the tool will eventually break. But what if your wealth is tied up in a business or real estate? How do your heirs pay the taxes without selling the assets? One of the biggest hidden dangers for wealthy families is being asset-rich and cash-poor. You may own a $20 million real estate portfolio, but if the tax bill is $8 million, where does that cash come from? If your heirs are forced to sell assets quickly to pay the Internal Revenue Service, they often do so at a massive discount, destroying years of growth in a single fire sale. This is why the most successful families use life insurance as a strategic liquidity engine. By placing a high-value life insurance policy inside an irrevocable life insurance trust, or ILIT, the payout remains entirely tax-free. When the time comes, that cash is immediately available to pay estate taxes, settle debts, or provide for family members, all without touching the core investments. It provides a buffer that allows your real estate or family business to continue operating without interruption. It is a masterstroke of financial guidance that ensures the engine of your wealth never stops running. But why wait until the end to start transferring your legacy? There is a way to do it right now. The most effective way to reduce a future tax bill is to reduce the size of your taxable estate while you are still here to enjoy the process. This is known as the gifting strategy. Currently, the law allows you to give a certain amount to any individual every year tax-free, without it ever counting against your lifetime exemption. If you and your spouse have children and grandchildren, these annual gifts can move hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your estate every single decade. This not only reduces the government's eventual cut, but it also allows you to see the impact of your wealth on your loved ones' lives today. For larger transfers, you can tap into your lifetime exemption amount. By gifting assets that you expect to grow significantly in value like startup stock or undervalued real estate, you are essentially freezing the value for tax purposes. The future growth happens inside the heir's name or a trust, far beyond the reach of the Internal Revenue Service. But with great wealth comes the risk of litigation. How do you keep these gifts safe? Wealth is often a target. Whether it is a frivolous lawsuit, a business failure, or a complicated divorce, your family's assets face constant external threats. A properly structured trust acts as a legal fortress. By using spendthrift clauses, you can prevent creditors from seizing the assets within a trust to pay for an heir's personal debts. The money belongs to the trust, not the individual, making it virtually untouchable in most legal proceedings. This is especially vital for protecting your children's inheritance in the event of a divorce. If the assets stay within a well-drafted trust, they are typically considered separate property, ensuring that your family's legacy stays with your bloodline, rather than being divided in a settlement. This level of protection is one of the most significant secrets of high-net-worth families. They do not just focus on how much they make, they focus on how much they can keep. It is the ultimate expression of financial security. So, how do you begin building this blueprint for yourself? The process is more accessible than you might think, provided you have the right mindset and the right team. Building a generational legacy is not a set-it-and-forget-it task. It is a living, breathing strategy that must evolve as your wealth grows and laws change. To truly master your wealth journey, you need a team of experts, an estate attorney, a tax professional, and a financial advisor who all speak the same language. Your blueprint should include a mix of revocable and irrevocable trusts, a clear education plan for your heirs, and a strategy for liquidity. Review your documents every 3 to 5 years, or whenever a major life event occurs. Remember, the goal is not just to pass down money. It is to pass down opportunity, values, and security. By taking these sophisticated steps today, you are doing more than just saving on taxes. You are breaking the 3-generation curse and ensuring that your hard work benefits your family for a century or more. You have the tools, and now you have the knowledge. It is time to unlock your financial potential and build a fortress around your future. The path to elite wealth is paved with discipline and foresight. Are you ready to take the first step toward a permanent legacy? Thank you for joining us at Elite Wealth Haven. Protecting your legacy is one of the most important missions you will ever undertake. If you found these strategies valuable, please subscribe to the channel and join our community of wealth builders. We are here to guide you through every step of your financial journey. Remember, wealth is built through action, but it is preserved through wisdom. Until next time, keep building your haven.